Chris Bourke, 4-0 super bantamweight, who looks like he has been the victim of domestic violence overnight, or was it sparring? But, well, tell the story.
Yeah, no, luckily it was sparring, yeah.
With your missus?
Not with my missus, sparring down Peacock Sports and Gym.
I thought you were supposed to be an elusive sort of character who didn't get caught. What went wrong?
I know, I must have just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Got caught, but it's boxing, it happens.
4-0, like we said. I think it's a slightly unusual thing for being a super bantamweight is the fact that you've finished them all by stoppage. You must be very pleased with that.
Yeah, you know, I think when you are a lighter weight, you need to make yourself stand out and be different to other fighters. So I think getting the stoppages, it's making a bit of noise and people are starting to notice it a bit. I always knew as an amateur, pro was more my style anyway, so I could see it coming. And the boys I've boxed, they don't get stopped often either, so it's good.
So is this a conscious decision to become like a spiteful super bantamweight right from the start to try and attract attention rather than sort of go for sort of comfortable points victories, which a lot of people in your position do?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm looking for the knockout, but I'm going in the fight to try and force the stoppage if it comes. I like a high, fast pace because we train hard down Peacocks. And yeah, if the stoppage comes, then I'll press it, but I'm not going into the ring forcing it.
You will definitely want it though.
I want the stoppage, yeah, for sure. Everyone likes the stoppage.
Well, it's quite a refreshing attitude because we do see so many novice pros sort of going through the motions a little bit in these early fights, and I guess you're right, it doesn't make them stand out.
No, you know, lighter weights, it's hard to get attention, so I'm doing what I can to be a bit different and to get the knockouts.
So have you found this first year as a pro?
It's been good, you know. My manager Martin Bowers, he's done what I've asked him to. I've been busy. I've been pro for less than a year and I've been pretty much fighting every other month, so it's been good.
What about the technical aspects of it, the transitioning?
Yeah, like I said, pro boxing has always been more suited to me. I like to take my time, look for the shots and sit on my shots with the power shots as well. So yeah, it suited me perfectly, really.
The opponents you've been in with, I mean, you can be honest here. I mean, is there anyone in there but you would have expected to have tested you so far?
Yeah, well, my last opponent, Ricky Leach, I boxed him in the Haringey semi-finals, and he was quite a fit, strong guy, and I remember it being quite a hard fight in the end, and I boxed him last month and got the 6th round stoppage.
Are you asking to be stepped up all the time with every fight?
Do you know what? It's ideally, yeah, you know, I'm looking for titles and stuff, but it's down to my manager and my coach. It's not for me to say.
Now then, you've boxed around a little bit. You've been on at least one of Frank's shows before, and you're boxing again at York Hall. Yeah. Is that correct? September 14th. So I suppose you got the best of both worlds in many respects. You can keep busy, jumping on whatever shows you like, and then you're coming on to the Frank shows, obviously by virtue of his relationship with Frank, with Martin's relationship with Frank. So you're kind of ticking all the boxes.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect because it means I'm getting on good shows, but I'm also busy, which is all I want at the beginning of my career.
Will you feel a little bit more pressure on the big promotions to sort of deliver a performance because that many more people are going to see it because the footage ends up online even if you're not on television, so there's no escape from people's eyes, is it?
Yeah, no, but I mean you sell a load of tickets for each fight. There's always a lot of pressure anyway, and most of the time there's always someone recording it and it gets put on YouTube anyway, so it's no different to me.
How's that going for you? Like you say, you sell a load of tickets. How's the support building going in the Streatham region? Yeah,
good. Streatham, it's difficult. London's a big place, so certain parts don't really get behind you, but I'm quite lucky. I've got a lot of supporters and I think it's slowly building, yeah, so it's good.
And you're seeking to probably sort of bring Millwall a little bit on board, probably again, by virtue of your father being a real die-hard fan.
Yeah, my dad and my uncles, they go to all the Millwall games, so I think it's a good support and a good following to have behind me.
How do you find your life has changed in the last year since taking up the professional game? I mean, you're a full-time pro, aren't you, for a start?
Well, I mean, before I was a pro, I was a boxer for Team GB for full-time for about nearly 3 years. So that was my job. So
you were away from home. It was like Sheffield. You were like being a college there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty much training camp 24/7. So it's nice being in like home soil with my training hard, but then being able to go back home the same day. Do you know what I mean?
By the same token, now you've got to sort of balance up your financially, your sponsorship money, your purse money, and you've got to make budget out and live day to day, haven't you?
Yeah, there's no money in boxing early doors, especially at Super Bantam. I'm quite lucky. I've got a few sponsors. I've got Parameter Developments that help me out, and Artel Scaffolding that give me a bit of money as well. So it makes my life a little bit easier.
It keeps you full time in a way. It pays you to train, which is the most important thing.
Because before that, I was training, and then straight from training, I was jumping on a train in my work boots and doing a half day's work, and then training the next day. And do you know what I mean? It was taking it out of me.
It's difficult to make the necessary improvements when you've got that sort of thing.
Yeah, you're going to training and you're drained. Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about your amateur background. Like we say, we know you're a Team GB member, but which tournaments and that did you enjoy success at?
My first tournament for GB was in Macedonia in a tournament called the Golden Gong. I got gold in that with 2 first-round knockouts, and I got boxed for the tournament for that as well. There was loads of competitions. I boxed in the WSB against Kazakhstan. I boxed.
You win?
I didn't win that one. No. Got my nose broke, but I can't remember his name. But he was a good fighter. Boxed in Finland. Had training camps in Germany. Boxed in Spain. Been all over the place. It's been good.
I think you mentioned to me once before, but probably your pathway was slightly blocked in the GB front by the fact, but everybody says it when they come out of Sheffield and the amateurs, they have their favourites, and I think one of the big favourites is Peter McGrail, and he happens to be your weight, doesn't he?
Yeah, Peter McGrail's a good fighter. I think he's ranked 4th in the world or something like that, so he's performing well. But yeah, I felt like I was the second pick, so it was a bit frustrating at times.
There was no way you're going to commit to a 4-year Olympic cycle with that sort of thing.
And especially, I'm 24 years old. My goal is to be pro and to win titles as a pro, so I wanted to chase that dream.
Are people surprised when you tell them you're a boxer?
Yeah.
I think so, because you could be sitting in the way you're talking, you could be like a trainee accountant or something like that.
People say I speak well for a boxer, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, you're just not your stereotypical sort of, like you say, you do look, you can imagine you with a shirt and tie on working in an office.
Yeah, no, an office job isn't for me.
Well, when you were working, what was it you were doing?
Labouring, I was labouring, yeah.
Anyway, so we wish you the best of luck at York Hall, September 14th. Chris, well done.
Thank you.
Best of luck, mate.
Cheers.